now. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I am falling apart per my norm. A bad Kimar day for me is like every day saying I walk out the house looking dope, banging, fierce. But by the time I'm driving for a few hours, I don't know, it just gets all undone, and my hair is so heavy that it's throwing my scarf off. But anyhow, I want to update about my BRCA test. Now the BRCA test, BRCA is the acronym. Don't ask me what it stands for because I do not remember. But it is it's a screening for breast cancer and ovarian cancer. There's BRCA1 and BRCA2. I think they tested me for both. I don't remember because that was back in like October or November that I had it done. But any and everybody cannot get this BRCA test. You have to be a person of high risk. I am of high risk, not only because my mom had breast cancer and had to have her breast amputated when she was about 33, and then by the time she was 34, it had metastasized to her bones and she passed away. This is back in 1986. And so the doctors, the gyno, everybody, they're always straight tripping, like, oh my god, you really need to go and get tested. And I'll be like, whatever, yeah, whatever. But so they finally talked to me into getting it done because I'm nearly 50 years old. Inshallah, we'll be 49 in July. And so they're like, look, you need to go and do this. Now I have been getting getting mammograms done over the past 7 to 8 years, but not yearly. But the past 2 years I got it done, and I did already make my appointment for this year. And so far so good, mashallah. But so my doctor, kind of talked me into, no, I found out about the BRCA test from I forgot Beyonce's daddy's name, Matthew, Mr. Matthew Knowles, because he had the test done and it turned out that he has breast cancer. Yes, men can get breast cancer also. And so that's how I found out about it. And so I asked my doctor about it, and she was like, well, yeah, you are high risk, so you can probably get it done and see if the insurance will pay for it. And they did, mashallah. And so they want you to sort of do like a makeshift or what have you. I can't think right now. Family history of cancer in your family. And so I knew there have been several cases of people of cancer, in my family. And then by talking to relatives, I found out even more. So, and then not just that, my grandmother's family, so my mother's maternal line, I've said before in other videos about like my heritage. My maternal grandmother was Irish, German and Irish, down the middle. And my grandfather, my mother's father, is Afro-Native, so African American, and Ganyaga, Mohawk. And so black. And so my grandmother, her family, I don't know how to really say it. I grew up with the information that she was disowned by her family, but I since have learned from her side, which I get to in a second. Her side is that, well, she wasn't actually disowned. She was given an ultimatum and she decided to jet. So there you go. I don't necessarily consider that disowning per se. I don't know. Either way, we lost contact with my mother's family. And so like 60 years later, me being on Ancestry.com and having a family tree on there and everything, about maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I was contacted by someone from her family who was her niece, my grandmother's brother, so my great uncle, my grandmother's brother's daughter, which was dope. And so the ancestry, let me tell y'all, it's dope. But anyway, so I was able to also talk to her, my cousin Renee, and see what was going on that side of the family with cancer. And honey, cancer is all up in my family, like woof. I mean, we've had breast cancer, which, you know, became bone cancer, but breast cancer, lung cancer, ovarian cancer, brain cancer, just like all kinds of it. So suffice to say, I was like, let me get that test out. And so it's so funny because I actually forgot I had taken it, because or had took it. But so I called and said, like, hey, what's up? Nobody ever contacted me. It's been like, 3 or 4 months. And so do you know they hadn't even screened the damn thing? So, the nurse was like, well, it was sent, and then there had to be some things that were authenticated or something like that, and then that was done, but no one ever looked at it to see what the result was. So they called me back later on and said that it was negative. So I was like, dope. So she said it's negative, but that my doctor would call me back. I think that might have been Friday. Today is Tuesday. I believe that was Friday when that happened. And she said my doctor would call me Monday or whatever to discuss it, which he did not. It was okay. So I went online and to see what the Mayo Clinic had to say about it. So this is the thing. It's like negative means that you don't I forget, I'm trying to see how they worded it. I think it said that if it's a negative result, then that means you don't have breast cancer or ovarian cancer. However, you could still have some other cancer. So I'm like, I don't know if being negative is good or bad. I gotta wait and see what Doc got to say about it. But we'll see. Now, I will say, I will not at all be surprised if I have something. So, as I said, I've been getting the mammograms, and they haven't found anything. Before I had my hysterectomy, and after, because once they take out your uterus and everything, they test it, assess it, and I didn't have any ovarian cancer, any of that sort of thing. Alhamdulillah. But I'm gonna tell you, this may sound nuts, but I'm not afraid of cancer. I'm just not. I would not be surprised if cancer turned up in my body at some point, if only because of society, with all the plastics and pollution and this and that, and the pesticides and the soil and all this. I mean, man, the soaps, the shampoos, I absolutely would not be surprised. And on top of that, I probably have a cancer gene because there's so much cancer in my family. And also, I mean, disrespectfully, don't anybody catch any, think I'm coming for anyone or anything like that. But being in healthcare, I gotta say, whenever I hear about somebody's cancer in remission, it seems like it's just a matter of time for it to pop up somewhere else. So I just wouldn't be surprised if it turned out I had cancer at some point. I actually would be extremely shocked if it did not pop up. But all you can do is live, in my opinion, and there's nothing to fear, I suppose. There are remedies out there. alternative. I've known people who had cancer and gotten rid of it through alternative means. So I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of. I don't think I'm afraid of any illness that I can think of. Oh, I'm scared of Alzheimer's. That I'm afraid of. But I think other things I'm not really. And with Alzheimer's, it's because I work with it so much, and I, see people's realities, and it's just so frightening to me to forget. Basically, like I always think of Reagan, president, the ex-president, how he accomplished so much in his life. Not that I was a fan or anything, though I was very young when he was president. But not that I'm a fan or anything. That truck need to stay on his side of the road. But just think about it. He was already a star. He was already a movie star long before he became president or got into politics. And then he, had Alzheimer's later in life. And can you imagine just you're getting all those things that you accomplished, and people forget their loved ones, and it's just crazy. Like, they keep their long-term memory, although it's contorted or what have you. And I think I would definitely, if I had Alzheimer's. Why does that word feel so funny coming off my tongue right now? Again, having worked in it with patients like that for so many years now, a lot of the women, and not only women who have had children, even sometimes if they didn't have children. I had a woman who, she used to all the time talk about her son, her baby is drowning, or something like that she used to say. She never had children. So you wonder, like, what goes on. And then, of course, women who did have children, we have to give them baby dolls and stuff because they get very agitated and stuff like that, because, like, they may be looking for their children. Like, did you see Johnny? He was supposed to be home from school right now. I don't know where he is, or whatever the case is, I think I would definitely be one of them. Boy, you better give me some baby dolls, because I will lose it. I believe that even now, because I still, which I've mentioned in another video or two, I have these constant dreams about babies. Long before I had a hysterectomy, like a couple of years before they started, then they stopped, and then now they're coming back again. So I can't imagine. I'll be messed up with Alzheimer's and can't get to my babies. But so that's the thing with the BRCA. Mashallah, the test came back negative, though I do not exactly know what that means. But we'll see. Keep posted.